Well, Mark, we have a great show for you coming up. May 27th. I think we have the most stacked card, the most exciting card I think Philadelphia has seen in a long time, if ever. We have a pro-am. It's called as a pro-am, and we have some of the best amateurs from around the country. We have guys that's won the nationals multiple times, fight against one another. So that's how we're going to start the day off at 3 o'clock, and then we're going to open up our pro show. And we're going to start that show off with some of the top fighters that we have in not only Philadelphia, but throughout Maryland and New Jersey. Sitting next to me, I have Paul Kroll, I got Nimal Farmer, we have David Calabro, who's going to make his debut, and we have the one and only Edwin Cortes on the end. All undefeated fighters coming out of Philadelphia and New Jersey. So they're ready to put on a show. They're not in easy. You know, these guys are in with some real competition. And the thing that I really respect about it is these guys are up for the challenge. They understand that it's not just about winning. It's about who you beat, and it's about entertaining the crowd. And the crowd feels that they got their money's worth. And that's what these guys want to give them. That's what RDR wants to give them. So I'm not going to hold it up. It's not about me. It's about them. So without further ado, take it away, Mark.
Well, I'll just do it from behind the camera. Actually, I should have put my microphone up, which I can still do. Give me 1 second. Let me just get the microphone. And then...
Sure, and I still want to, and I also want to say that the fight, the show will be at the Newtown, Training and Event Center. That's
Sports
part of the
and Event
Newtown
Center.
Sports and Event Center, right? The Newtown Sports and Event Center. That's part of the Newtown Athletic Club out at 120 Pheasant Run in Newtown, PA. Yes, sir. You had a question?
Yeah, I don't know. What's the capacity there? How big a room is it?
Oh, the room probably can hold up to about 3,000 people. You know, if you set it. It's a big room. It's like an indoor training center with the big grass on the ground. Yeah, it's a huge room. Very nice room.
All right, well, I'm going to just piggyback on what Rodney says. Obviously, we got these 4 outstanding fighters here today. So some outstanding fighters who are not here, who are going to be on the card, guys like Samuel Taya, who's a world-known fighter, Steve Cunningham Jr. going to make his area debut, Isaiah Johnson, who's one of the top up-and-coming junior welterweights, not only in this area but in the United States. There's, like you said, there's just so much talent on this card. Ron Peterson, another undefeated middleweight fight. But let's just talk about the guys who are here. Let's start off with the pro debut, or David Calabro. It says you're from Allentown, but yesterday you told me you're from Philly. I don't know why it says that on the thing. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're making your pro debut on Saturday, May 27th at Newtown Sports and Athletic Event Center. You got me saying it now, Rodney.
Right, well, I'm actually from Delaware County, Glen Mills. Didn't have a huge amateur background, only 12 fights, but I've been around for about 12 years now. Finally, thought it was time to take the next step, and here we are.
You mentioned finally. Why now?
I feel like it's time, I've been working hard, getting great sparring with great sparring with a lot of pros, a lot of big name pros, and I feel like I'm ready.
Mark, I got to jump in and say I went to his gym, and because I wanted to see. I seen this guy sitting next to me. He looks like a nice guy you ever want to meet, right? He's talking to me, and he's so low profile. And I said, I gotta go see if this guy fights. You know what I mean? So I go over to the gym and I'm watching him spar. Man, he turns into something different in the ring. He's a mean little sucker in the ring, and I enjoyed that. I said, oh, yeah, he definitely makes the cut. So it is his time. So let's see.
Sitting to his right is a undefeated bantamweight from Millville, New Jersey. Comes from a family of fighters, still undefeated. Edwin Cortes. You are looking more impressive with each outing. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your fight coming up on May 27th.
Oh, first of all, I want to thank the man above for, giving us another day to live. We've been working hard, even though, we didn't have some troubles with fights and stuff like that, still managed to overcome all of that, We're just excited to be here, give the fans a show what they want to see.
3-0 now. you start to feel the pressure now because now you've won a few fights to keep that O intact?
I really, I'm confident in what I can do. I know what I can do, so I just work hard and just be ready for whatever comes my way.
And I'll tell you, he really means that. Edwin is like the hardest, easiest guy to match. And what I mean by that, it's hard because he's in a small weight division, and he can fight as low as 108, and he shouldn't go past 15. But he'll fight at 18, and he'll fight a guy at 20. So he's not the guy. He's not the problem. It's the pool of fighters in the small weight divisions that's been the issue, and me not wanting to put him in over his head. And most of the people that call for him are 9-0. 10-0, and he's 3-0. You know what I mean? So we have to watch that, but he's willing to get in there with them all. So we're walking a fine line, walking a tightrope with that.
What would you like to say to the fans out there before we see you in the ring next Saturday night? What would you like to tell the fans out there about your fight? You're fighting a guy named Courtney. I just had your thing. Jeffrey Williams.
Hope to see everybody there, and I just want to prove to everybody that I know I can give them a good show,
Thank you. Next up, we have another undefeated guy who's looked pretty explosive in his first few fights, and see you smiling there, Nimal Farmer. You'll be back in the ring. Tell us a little about yourself. Again, you in RDR is, with Isaiah and a couple of the other guys, Edwin, some real emerging prospects. You starting to feel your brand growing a little bit as you get by with each win? Yeah. You want to expound on that? Just tell us a little bit about yourself then.
All I do is train hard. I live, eat boxing. Live, eat, sleep boxing. That's it.
And let me tell you, Mark, he's not lying. I tell you, this kid right here, this is one of the hardest working guys I've ever seen. He had about 10 or 11 fights in the amateurs, but I could not tell in his last couple of fights. I thought he was about 75, 80 fights in when I saw his last couple of fights. You couldn't tell me anything different. I watched him transform over a few month period last year. He went from having the coach walking on one leg because one foot was up and behind all the time, telling him to get it together, man. So all of a sudden, something clicked in this fella where he got it right. And he went in there because it was something that he wanted. I don't know what it is, but it's something about this kid that says he wants it, he wants it all, and he's getting better with every outing. He's getting better in the gym. He's getting better as a person. He conducts himself the way he's supposed to be conducted. He's a man of few words, but I'll tell you what, don't judge him by that. You judge him by what he does in that ring and what he does in the gym. He puts the work in, and he's definitely going to impress the crowd on May 27th.
You're 3-0 with 3 knockouts. Like I said, been very impressive and a very aggressive fighter you are. In fact, he's so aggressive. Every time I interview him in the ring, he tries to take my microphone after everyone. Every time I'm like, what do I say? No. Now you. I've described you as a kind of a seek and destroy fighter. Would that be a fair assessment of how you so far have navigated your first 3 fights?
I don't get paid for overtime. Them guys don't belong in there with me, so I take them out of there. I ain't there playing.
Most fighters say, and we'll talk to Paul, who's the veteran of the group here. They don't go looking for knockouts, and knockouts come. The way you fight, I think it would be fair to say you probably do go look for the knockout.
I don't even looking for the knockout. I just let it come. I listen to my coach, and I just let the knockout come.
Fight a guy named Raekwon McDonald. What do you know about him?
Nothing. I know he getting beat up. I know.
I'll tell you about Raekwon. Raekwon was very impressive on one of my shows in his first fight out. He fought a very tough soldier at the time, who was Sosalan, and Sosalan was getting the better of him, and Sosalan made a couple of mistakes and smacked till Sosalan was asleep. One thing about Raekwon, I'm gonna tell you, Raekwon, he packs a punch, packs a wallop. I tried to scare this guy with that or whatever, and it's like the more I told him about how good Raekwon was, the more he wanted him. You know what I mean? That's something I respect about this guy. So he's not in easy, but I think he will. I think he's going to make it look easier than than Raquan is. That's my assessment.
Lastly, we'll go to Paul Kroll. Paul, who's, like I said, the veteran of the group here, 9-0-1, 6 knockouts, taking on Eduardo Reyes, who's 11-18, but a veteran in there. I mean, you don't let as Paul knows, you don't fight records. You fight. You guys are a real experienced guy, and so talk to us about fighting. I mean, I can't believe you're still just 24 years old. It says you were born in 99, 95. Oh, my bad. 27, but still, you've been around a long time. A lot of fans, may think you're older.
Boxing long, though. I got 5 years amateur career. I had 2 years off after my amateur career. I only been boxing pro 5 years. So altogether, consistently 10 years. Like, that's still a baby. But 27, very experienced. Looking forward to May 27th. Rice put me back on a good card. A good veteran fighter. He coming off a good win, so he's very confident. And I think our styles, he a good Mexican fighter, gonna come forward, throw a lot of punches. I'm a good pressure defensive fighter, so it's gonna be fireworks, and we're gonna chop him down and beat him up. Stylistically, it's gonna be a great fight for the fans, but I'm gonna come out swing without getting wet. What I'm saying?
You've been off 16, 17 months now. What have you been up to? I mean, I'm sure the business boxing fights fall through and stuff like that. I would imagine that's going on. What have you been up to? And now that you're back in the ring, what's your game plan now that you're finally getting back in there?
What I've been up to, I just been putting real hard work in, like learning, getting really like back to the roots, like working hard, no shortcuts, no sauna, none of that. Just go to the gym every day, work on my skill, worrying about the weight coming off, practicing my craft, so I can look sharp on fight night. Couple fights, didn't get the couple fights I want. That's just the business of boxing, you know how that go. But Rodney Rice, I never had a problem fighting on any of his cards. Actually gonna fight on another card of his in August after this, but I'm not gonna look past Eduardo. I'm just happy to be back in the ring after it's so into a layoff. That's all. And I get to show my skills again, especially in my hometown.
Obviously, the last time we saw you in the ring, it was big national TV. It was a draw.
But it was a draw. It wasn't my best performance. I still want to fight now.
Well, what did you learn from that? Obviously, it was kind of a step-up fight with Taylor, who was also undefeated. What'd you learn from that?
I learned from that fight, just stick to the game plan, no matter what, no matter how things going on. I ain't gonna really say too much on why, but I feel like I want to fight. I know I want to fight. First 4 rounds I won. 5 and 6, I'm giving them. I got caught some dumb shots, but 7 and 8, all they did was run and grab, But just stick to the game plan, go back to the fundamentals, because I outjabbed more, landed more body shots, but I could have did more. I could have did a lot more. That's something I could have did. I didn't look polished like I am. And that was the reason I believe I like the draw, because I didn't look how I was supposed to look. But that's a fight later on. Hopefully we can run it back. I said it after the fight night. We could run it back in 3 weeks if we wanted to.
Do you feel, because of that result, not saying that you should have won, should not, because it was a draw, you've been out of the ring, you obviously, and I know you yelled at me before, you were on the Olympic team. I remember on a press release I said you were Olympic alternate. I got a text so quick that he goes, I was on the Olympic team, damn it. Because you're on the Olympic team, and when you turn pro, the things that come with the expectations. Do you feel that because of it was a draw, you've been out of the ring, kind of out of sight, out of mind? A lot of people now are forgetting or sleeping on Paul Kroll and what you can still bring to the table for the rest of your career.
I hope they sleeping on me because I can get some fights. Everybody say they sleeping on me, but it's still hard to get fights. Like, so many people turn me down. People say, they ask me, do I want to fight first? I sign a contract, come back, they don't want to fight. It don't be me. I want to fight. So hopefully, my last performance make people want to fight me. But after this performance, the way I chop Eduardo up, they might get scared again.
what do you want to say to the fans out there? I mean, we're going to see you Saturday, May 27th, at the Newtown Sports and Event Center in Newtown, Pennsylvania. What do you want to say to the fans out there before we see you on fight night?
I want to thank everybody that's buying tickets from me, from Rice, however you get there. And it's Punisher time. That's all. I'm looking forward to see everybody there, and I'm put a great show on for all of you.
There you have it. Like I said, we got 4 young future stars. I was going to throw back to 4 young future stars, who plus some of the fighters that I mentioned who aren't here. So let's throw it back to the promoter, Rodney Rice, to put a bow tie on this.
Yes, I want to say something, Paul, real quick. Yeah, me and Paul was on one of my cards, I think last year, and I've known Paul for a long time, and I always thought Paul was an outstanding fighter, And now I got to say that his mental and his maturity is catching up with his fight ability, and that's something that stands out to me. You know what I mean? And it impresses me that a young man that realizes some things that he could have done better, and he starts doing better. He comes to that point in his life, and right now I'm excited to see him get back in the ring because it seems like he rededicated himself not only to sports but to living a lifestyle that goes with boxing. Boxing is not just going to the gym. Boxing is how you come home and sleep, how you eat, how you conduct yourself when you're not asleep, when you're not in the gym. So that rededication, I take my hat off to. And I tell you, I am super excited to see these guys in the ring because I think I matched them pretty tough, but not with more than they can handle. And I'm looking forward to seeing them rise to the occasion.
Okay, I guess I don't know if we can all stand up and maybe we'll take a quick picture. Try to.
Yeah, come on ahead, guys.
Hey, right, birthday, get me the weed.
Got it?
Yeah,
All right.
the mall is like real red.
Well, that's how Raekwon said he's going to look anyway.
Hey, move
Come on.
over.
Let's slide down here. Slide down like this. There we go.